in nomine Dinastri Satanae Luciferi Excelsi. Greetings, everyone. It is your favorite dark sorcerer here. And today I'd like to do a book review upon 3 of Aleister Natch's books. Okay? Those of you who are familiar with him know that he has roughly around 10, if not 11 books out. The last 2 being a grimoire or a journal, a blank one. And then he did one on the devil worship. And lately he's been doing a lot of YouTube channel videos where he does a podcast once a week. This man has been a practitioner for 35 years. He has been considered the spokesperson for theistic Satanism. He has even been a magus, a magi of a coven. Okay? Not sure why he never went for Black Pope, but he did run his own coven, and now he has his own pantheon. He has his own YouTube channel and all that stuff that you can look up for yourselves. Okay? Now, I've been getting a lot of questions about Satanism. What is it? How do I get into it? What is the mind state of a Satanist? What does a Satanist do? Okay? There's a lot that I've been getting just in my messages alone on this application. So outside of Anton Zander LaVey and the Order of the Nine Angles, I thought about this for a little while and literally a few days. And the best way that I could show you is through these 3 books by this one author. Okay? Now, these 3 books are, in my opinion, a grimoire in itself. It is the overall collective teachings, writings, experiences, you name it. The personal thoughts and views of this man. Okay? Personally, I loved all his books. The first 2 had a little bit of spelling errors, little bit of kind of like how should I say this? It was almost like a newbie wrote them. Okay? But after he got Satanic Magic and the Satanic Rituals out, he really became serious with his writings. He really became devout and devoted to what he was doing. And I really liked that because it literally showed the personality of who this man is, the way he thought, the way he performed and approached rituals within his inner sanctum. Out of all the books that he has, I narrowed it down to these 3. And this is why. Like I said, just these 3 books alone would be one hell of a grimoire for you to learn by. Those of you who have gone out of your way and picked up the collective works by E.A. Coetting knows that it's every single one of those grimoires that is in there is written like a story, a fairy tale. Okay? My experiences when I was beginner, yada, 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 the typical bullshit. These workings here take you in depth, not only through personalized views, but personalized perceptions of the satanic mind, the satanic thought form, not just how you approach your rituals or your inner sanctum with such respect, such open mindedness. Okay. So let me show you. The first one is Sanctum of Shadows, Volume 1. Okay. And it's by Aleister Natch. All right. Let me see if I can't get that glare off there so you can actually see it. There you go. Now, I really like this one because it really set the stage within his perceptions of his growth, his own personalized growth, his experiences, what his perception of a Satanist is. And I really connected with it because it was one that I've always conducted myself within a state of honor, integrity, having such kind of like laws, rules, and regulations, a personalized code, if you will, that you live by. Okay. Like, whatever you preach, always back it up with numerous sources, or always making yourself available to the public, always answering messages, you know, in a timely fashion, if possible, you know, and take your approach to rituals very seriously. And the more you get out of it is the more you put in. Okay, the more you put in, the more you get out. And Aleister Natch really touches base within some of the ramifications of from Anton LaVey's work back in the early days. And I thought that was pretty cool because in the early days, they were really devout devil worshippers. They were really devout in getting rid of the bullshit and the drama. The only drama should be that of what you're performing within a ritual. Okay? So he really touches base on this, and he touches base on destructive rituals. He touches base on lust rituals, um, the deliverance and the eye of the beholder, the whole kit and caboodle. And I really liked that. And he didn't just put in a perception of method, or how should I say this? A repetition, if you will, within the ritual state. No, he went far beyond that and getting into the different methods, the different perceptions that you can have within the inner sanctum. The second one, the Sanctum of Shadows, Volume 2, this was a little bit different. Okay, this was very, very much different than the first one because here he talks a lot about the baffling experiences, the satanic and demonic manifestations. You know, really gets into the explanations of Satan and the demonic demons, and not just that, but how to approach them, how to convey to them, how to associate with them, traverse, the dimensions. Think of it as a bunch of essays, but yet very well written. And I found it very interesting because he even goes into the characteristics the special excerpts, I guess you could say, of the Satanic Grimoire. I really liked how he wrote this. It really gave you a lot to think about, a lot to. Oh, by the way, it looks like this. Just realized I didn't show it to you. So, my bad. Okay. He really makes you think and takes you into the world of what a Satanist is. Now, I started out as a spiritual Satanist before going into theistic Satanism and finally ending up into traditional Satanism, which I really love. Now, the third one is a lot different. This is more of an assert, how should I say this? It's more of assertions and deductive or dedicative methods of justifying the positions based upon your promises and your own personalized rituals within Satanism. Working with independent demons, working with, say, Zazel, Samael, Lucifer's Raphael, Lilith. It doesn't matter who you work with. It really comes down to a science. It comes down to an art and a religion. But most importantly, I love the fact that in all his books, he really opens up your mind to different philosophies, different based assertions within, say, for example, how should I say this? Friedrich Nietzsche, Good and Evil, The Art of War, okay, by Sun Tzu. The Russian classic, of War and Peace, getting into Marcus Aurelius, the Book of Meditation. Oh, man, I love that stuff. Going into Dante's Inferno, the way he incorporates them into his teachings, his lessons, and these little essays, these essays that he puts in, and the way he wrote this book, really, he doesn't just dumb it down or makes it intellectual at the same time. It's more of the fact that he really explains it in a very methodical and intellectual basis for every adept, every neophyte, every acolyte, from beginner to experienced, to understand. Okay? He really touches base on his own thoughts, his own perceptions, his own experiences, and his own rituals, not just his own life. And this is something you don't see very often within any of the satanic books that are out there today. Most of them are just trying to sell books. Most of them are just trying to get numbers. Okay. It's more of, look at me, I wrote a book, yada, yada, yada. No. Aleister Natch is one of those authors that he's doing it for the practice. He's doing it for the religion, okay? The philosophy, the entire practice of Satanism in general. It doesn't matter if you're agnostic. It doesn't matter if you're Luciferian. It doesn't matter if you're spiritual, theistic, or even traditional. It doesn't matter if you're a demonolator, okay? He really does it down into a philosophy, but also an art form of devotion, dedication, taking notice of your surroundings and how you build your reputation, how you build your commitment in your communication with Satanas, Luciferi, and Belial, and all these demons and fallen angels. And it's really exciting and fascinating to see. I mean, some of his some of his chapters, and I will tell you, are, in my opinion, a little far stretched. Okay, they're a little bit stretched out, but almost like Raymond Buckley. It's like somebody from England writing a book that's kind of a little stuffy in spots, but yet then he'll just nail you out of the blue, and it's like, shit, I never thought about it that way. And he's one of those authors that tells it to you straight. He doesn't dub it down. He doesn't bullshit around the corner. No, he puts it right out there, plain and simple. I love that about him as an author, as a practitioner, and I'm proud to call him a brother. Okay. Namely because of the fact I was friends with him on Facebook for a while until he got rid of his Facebook profile and ended up going with a page. And then he ended up starting his YouTube channel and all that stuff. So I had the honor of being friends with him for a short time. And now we just basically talk a little bit through his videos, where I leave messages and he replies and loves it. But still, I mean, this is a guy that takes his practices very seriously. He takes his work very seriously. He's highly dedicated. And I recommend his books, not just these three in general, but all his books to you because you will learn so much from his perception, from his experiences, and over 35 years worth of experiences. I came across him back in 2011. Okay. 2011 when his first book hit the shelves. And that was after I first came across his YouTube channel. So love that. And when I found out that he used to be a member of a few other organizations, that was something that was kind of unique because you don't see somebody who has gone out of the way to master their techniques or their way of life. That is something that I highly recommend to all of you. So if you're interested in Satanism and you're interested in becoming a Satanist or just simply wanting to know more about what a Satanist is, what a Satanist does, I recommend Aleister Natch to you. Okay? I hope this has been intellectual. I hope it's been enlightening. I want to thank everybody who's participated and shown up during this. I know I got my cell phone going because some people can't, for some reason, are having a hard time with YouTube. Apparently, it's a single thing, so I got YouTube and Facebook going at the same time. I know Stephen Todd is viewing. Jennifer is watching. Let's see. Philip Lee Ball Knight is watching. Then Fecium is watching. And I know on my YouTube channel, I got 1 thumbs up and 4 likes. It was up to 5 at one point, which is all right. I don't mind. All right. But yeah, I mean, I recommend looking him up. I recommend getting his books, watching his YouTube channel. He's got a lot of great videos, and he's actually done some audio, from what I understand, okay, on some of his books. So that's something to look into as well. He does, like I said, have a pantheon going, priesthood, and a new coven, from what I understand, down in Florida. So keep an eye out on that if you live down in Florida. All right, hit him up. This guy is well versed. He knows his stuff. All right, have a good one, and until next time, I'm out.